Happy homecoming from Elliott Field on the campus of Fitchburg State University. It is College Football Saturday here on FATV. Today, the Falcons of Fitchburg State University play host to the Buccaneers of the Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and it is indeed homecoming, one of our favorite days of the year, Dan.
Absolutely. Great time to see old alumni come back to Fitchburg State, get to take in a great football game, and we expect a great football game here today.
Should be a very competitive match. The Falcons come in with a record 1-4 on the season. They have yet to pick up a victory in the MASCAC. Mass Maritime on the other side, they are 2-3 overall, 2-2 in conference. One thing to note, Dan, we just found out about 10 minutes ago, Fitchburg State will be playing without their starting quarterback. Rocky Marchitelli not available today. It will be Devin LeBron, the signal caller for Fitchburg.
Be a little different look for the Falcons today. And what Fitchburg State's going to try to look to take advantage of is Mass Maritime's got a very solid defense. However, that mainly extends to the run game. They've conceded only about 106 yards a game on the ground, but they've given up over 211 yards a game on through the air. And the Falcons last year tried to take advantage of that. They had Rocky Marchitelli throw 55 passes against Mass Maritime last year at Buzzards Bay. That was a 21-3 win for the Buccaneers. The Falcons coming off a 25-22 loss to Framingham State 2 weeks ago. Everybody had the week off last week. So both of these teams coming off a bye, haven't played in a fortnight. Extra day for Maritime because their last game was on Friday, October 4th, in which they lost 34-0 to UMass Dartmouth. And of course, you don't like getting shut out by a team like UMass Dartmouth, but holding them to 34 was incredibly impressive considering in the other 4 wins for UMass Dartmouth, they scored at least 58 points in each of those 4 games.
So a comparatively impressive defensive performance by the Buccaneers. You saw them take the field just a moment ago. They're in the all-white jersey, white pants. They do have gold helmets. And is that black or dark blue trim?
Dark blue.
Dark blue. It looks black. It's a very sunny day, very nice day here at Elliott Field. Just a little bit chilly, so bring a jacket, but we absolutely encourage you folks, if you're in the Fitchburg area, come on down here to Elliott Field, again on the campus of Fitchburg State University, not too far from the Wallace Civic Center. And Dan, if you know some folks who might be in Buzzards Bay, how exactly can they watch us here on FATV?
They can visit fatv.org/watch-FATV for more information on all the many ways that you can watch, whether it be on iOS or Android devices, Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire over-the-top devices, on fatv.org, on the Civic Stream. And if you're in the Fitchburg area, Comcast and Verizon still work.
Absolutely, but again, plenty of seats still available here at Elliott Field as the Falcons take the field. They will be in all gold today, gold jerseys and pants. They do have the green helmets and numbers. Looks like that's Cam Manette wielding the sledgehammer today. I think that's right. Big number 97 with the big old mallet. But Dan, real quick, returning to the matter of Fitchburg State's quarterback, we saw early in the season Coach Izzy Abraham maybe a little indecisive trying to figure out exactly what he had in his quarterbacks. We saw Marchitelli and LeBron kind of going back and forth, especially in the first home game here at Elliott Field. Rocky Marchitelli really made the job his own over the past few weeks. The results have been inconsistent, less than 50% completion percentage, twice as many interceptions as touchdowns, but Marchitelli had been the primary quarterback for the Falcons. You mentioned that Mass Maritime is much stiffer defensively against the run than against the pass. It'll be an interesting test to see, does Fitchburg State have the faith in Devin LeBron to go to the air, especially early, or are they going to try to get something going on the ground?
LeBron is 10 for 18 through the air in his short stay thus far with Fitchburg State, so 55.6%, has a 99-yard touchdown pass to his credit, 167 yards otherwise. So that'll tell you that for the most part, he hasn't really gone that deep down the field. So that's going to be one of those questions there.
Captains are heading to midfield for the coin toss. Left to right for Fitchburg State, it's Cam Manette, Matty Aguirre, Jordan Cummings, rather. And I believe that's Elijah Zaire, Easy McKnight, rounding out the captains for Fitchburg State.
Yep. For Maritime, they have Dimitri Boozer, Luke Maffeo, and Liam Hines serving as captains.
Bill Goslin is our referee today. Master coin flipper that he is. Buccaneers have won the toss and deferred, so the Falcon offense will get the ball first. Fitchburg State will go right to left in the first quarter. Again, Rocky Marchitelli not available today, not starting at quarterback for the Falcons.
Some Falcon fans may have noticed earlier on in the season the Falcons had 5 captains, but one of those captains, Cameron Topkin, suffered a season-ending injury a couple of weeks ago. So he wasn't out there with the rest of the team taking part in the coin flip, and that's a big loss for the Falcons defensively as well, as he's one of the leading tacklers for this side.
Absolutely. Cam Topkin, a big part of the Falcon defense. But Dan, we were speaking, we'll actually talk a little bit more about Cam Manette. Some speculation here in the press box that he's going to have a tremendous day today. We'll see about that. For now, we will step aside for the playing of the national anthem, but don't go anywhere. It is College Football Saturday here on FATV.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you please stand if you are able, as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
Fitchburg State University football here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bullock. We're just about set for kickoff here at Elliott Field. What is a beautiful and quickly warming up Saturday afternoon, Dan.
Indeed, there was a point when I was leaving my house, was I going to have to bring both of my jackets, or was I going to just have the fleece under jacket work well enough? And I knew that if I was going to bring the big, heavy outer jacket, that was going to get shed rather quickly, so I just didn't bother.
It's one of those days where you show up in a hoodie, but you're ready to shed the hoodie at the first inclination, especially if you're spending any time in the sun. Again, the Buccaneers won the opening coin toss. They deferred, so they will kick it away to start.
It's going to be Connor Malone, the senior from Norwell, who's going to kick it off there.
Pretty good kick, taken in at about the 12-yard line. Try to turn upfield on the near side. Hit and dropped down at the 30. That's Easy McKnight on the return.
Tom Spillane was the first to arrive, the freshman from Yarmouth Port. But a good run back for McKnight. And solid field position to start for Devin LeBron and the Falcons.
Falcons will come out 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Matty Aguirre in the backfield to the left of LeBron. 4 receivers for Fitchburg State. Man in motion is KB. LeBron will throw on 1st down, looking long. Deep ball on the near side. It is incomplete. He was looking to hit Deshaun Curtis. Good coverage by Lucas Casey Moore. So immediately, Dan, we wondered if the Falcons would let LeBron go deep. Well, he went deep there.
Very first throw, just puts a lot of zip downfield. And just a lot of hand battling there. Curtis trying to turn around, but loses battle with the defender. At the very least, though, if he was able to turn around quickly enough and get in position, he would have had a good shot at the catch there.
2nd down and 10 for Fitchburg State. This time Aguirre gets the carry. Turns upfield, and he is met very quickly. Wrapped up by Jackson Mahoney, the sophomore from East Falmouth. No gain for him. It'll be 3rd and long for Fitchburg. Maybe even a loss on the play.
Falcons have averaged about 101 yards through the air this year, 113 on the ground, so a little better on the ground. And Aguirre ran for well over 100 yards last week. Last time out, 28 for 127 against Framingham. But the track record will tell you it's very difficult to gain yards on the ground against this Buccaneer side.
Bucks show blitz. LeBron with an empty backfield. Here comes the pressure. LeBron's got to get rid of it. Pass to the near side is incomplete. Just out of the reach of Aguirre. He had lined up in the slot as an extra receiver. So Fitchburg State does try to go to the air. But good defense by Mass Maritime. Couple of incompletions and a loss on the run. Falcons go 3 and out.
That was a case of they're rushing LeBron. He's got to get the ball off. And Aguirre didn't have the time to cut back to the spot. And diving wasn't able to make that catch. Hunter Sands on the punt.
Hunter, the punter, set up at about his own 13-yard line. Snap bounces into him. Sands does a great job to corral it and get the kick away. Takes a bit of a Falcon bounce, and it'll go out of bounds at the Mass Maritime 41-yard line. That's where the Buccaneer offense will take the field for the first time.
This Buccaneer side is one that loves to run the ball. Only 28 pass attempts through 5 games coming into today. In fact, last week against UMass Dartmouth, I keep saying last week even though it was 2 weeks ago, they had 14 different players run the ball.
We were talking with Jamie Rogers, the Assistant Sports Information Director for the Falcons. He thinks Cam Manette is going to have a big day on the defensive line for Fitchburg. We'll keep an eye on that. First down handoff goes straight into the pile. Absolutely nothing doing there. I believe that was Zach Proctor, the sophomore from Plymouth, who got it. Yes, indeed it was.
51 carries for 226 yards coming to today. Yeah, Manette moving from the defensive end to the nose tackle position, so moving inside the line there. And he was right there to meet Proctor and hold him to a gain of about a yard.
And if you take a look at the offensive line for the Buccaneers as the 2nd down pitch goes to the far side, good gain that time, across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. It was Brooks Moss, sophomore from Merritt Island, Florida. But getting back to the point about the offensive line, Dan, Mass Maritime's centers, both their starting and backup center, are by far the smallest offensive linemen for either team. Jamie Rogers thinks the Falcons have a distinct size advantage with Manette lined up against that center. Now quarterback keeper on 3rd down into Falcon territory, spun down at the 45-yard line. Evan Pierce is able to pick up a first down for the Buccaneers.
One of the centers, 5'7", 246. Cole Cernick, 5'10", 277. Listed as the other center. Maritime's not going to waste too much time here. At least getting ready, but now they'll take a breather.
Pierce will get signals from the coaching staff on the far sideline. Check his wristband. 1st and 10 at the Falcon 45. Man goes in motion. Handoff up the middle once again. That's Proctor. And he's met and driven back after a gain of a couple.
Might have been a legitimate argument for a flag there because it looked like there were 2 different players who were moving around at the snap. But they let that one go. And maybe about a 3-yard gain for Proctor, just going right through the middle of the line again.
I mentioned the Buccaneers really don't have much of a passing attack. So the Falcons know it's going to be on the ground. But the trick is in the deception. You don't know where exactly the ball's going. 2nd down pitch comes to the near side. Cutting upfield and brought down at the 40. Good gain there for Jackson Mahoney.
I have Daniel Malloy on that one.
I thought it was 32.
I had 33.
Yeah. Well, there's a 33 on the field, so I think you were right. How about that? Malloy's a junior from Franklin. Picked up a few. 3rd and a long 4 for the Buccaneers. They need to get to the Falcon 35. And this time there are whistles and flags at the snap, Dan. I think there were once again 2 men in motion. So 5-yard penalty for the false start. We'll back up the Under Me Bucking Hats. It'll be 3rd and 9 for Mass Maritime.
They might have gotten away with it earlier in this drive, but that time it was a little more obvious, and that time couldn't let that one go. Minus 5 yards for the Buccaneers, pushing back to 3rd and 9. Maritime, 5 of 14 on 3rd down 2 weeks ago. They're 41.3% on 3rd down this season.
Pierce will throw on 3rd down. Pass over the middle is caught. Catch made there. Nice catch and reception for Brennan Keefe, freshman from Plymouth. Just a yard or 2 shy of the line to gain, but in the maroon zone, Bucks are going for it. Quarterback sneak, Pierce straight up the middle. He's got the 1st down. Just hurry up to the line, snap the ball, plunge forward.
Line to gain was the 35, so a line right on the turf. So a spot to specifically aim for. And Pierce able to get 2 yards there, and for Keefe making that catch. That is his first career catch. He's the freshman from Plymouth North. They only had 6 different players who had a reception coming into today, and 3 of them didn't make the trip.
Pierce fakes the pitch on 1st down, under pressure, wants to throw. Looking long to the left, it's overthrown and incomplete. Was trying to hit Keefe again. Good coverage by Easy McKnight.
Looking for that deep ball downfield, and just a lot of pressure on Pierce right at the snap as he rolled out to the left. Was able to break away, get out of a potential tackle, throw it downfield, but it landed so far out of bounds. If this was a Canadian football field, I think Easy McKnight would have had the best shot of all of catching that ball. I think he let off a little bit knowing there's no way he could have legally caught it. But nonetheless, just an incompletion, but already a couple of times we're seeing Maritime go to the air here. Again, they only average about 5 attempts a game, and they've already got 2.
Option pitch goes to the far side. Great blocking, great gain inside the 20. Couple flags come in. Was Brooks Moss on the carry again. Saw flags come in from both sides as Moss was going out of bounds.
And Moss ended up losing his helmet on that, which I think will directly tie into the reason for this flag.
Easy McKnight guilty of a face mask infraction. Good decision by Pierce to pitch it out. And then you see right at the end there, I think McKnight's trying to rip at the ball, but he just rips the helmet off of Moss. It's an easy penalty.
It is, and because the helmet was ripped off by foul play, Moss does not have to sit out for a snap.
1st and goal Buccaneers at the 8-yard line. Plunge up the middle, believe that was Proctor again.
It was.
Not much doing there. Bucks are getting just enough on these plunges up the middle that the Falcons have to respect it, Dan, and that's letting them go off of that, get out to the flanks.
Especially when they're lining up so tight and compact, 7 on the line, and even the 4 backs all really closely bunched to each other. You can see no receiver set here.
Play fake, Pierce will keep it himself this time. Gets about half of the distance needed for a touchdown. It's inside the 5, call him down at the 2-yard line. And we get whistles.
Grant McCoe's lost his helmet, and there's no foul play here, so McCoe's must come off for a play.
He will head to the sidelines. Griffin Burho will check in for Fitchburg State. 3rd and goal from the 2. Bucks looking to take an early lead here. comes in motion to the far side. Pierce will try the right. Lunges for the line. He is down short. It'll be 4th and goal for Mass Maritime. They already converted 1 4th down on this drive, and they did it by hurrying up to the line. They're going to try to do it again here. Pierce comes right up to the line, plunges forward. Looks like he's in, but the officials want to confer. Touchdown! Not quite sure what took so long to make the call there, Dan. From the naked eye, it seemed like Evan Pierce was well over the line.
I thought it looked a little closer than that, close enough that they had to double check it just to be 100% sure, because you know that's a very significant call, the potential first score of the contest.
That certainly is.
The way that Maritime's running it, trying to push up the line, maybe they can get 1 or 2 with reliability, and fortunately with 2 shots from 2 yards out. But it felt like it was just a matter of time before they were able to push it in.
And in whirling on to attempt the extra point. Bit of a low snap, but a good hold, and the kick is through. Just about halfway through the first quarter of action here at Elliott Field. Massachusetts Maritime Academy has taken a 7-0 lead over the Falcons of Fitchburg State. Take another look at, that was the 3rd down play, I believe. The one where Pierce was stopped just shy. Did everything he could, Dan, to stretch that one out, but then they hurried up to the line on 4th and got it in.
13 plays, 59 yards in 6 minutes and 34 seconds. They convert twice on 4th down. The Maritime's got the first points in this contest. A little bit of explosiveness, especially when they're able to get the ball out to the flanks. Brooks Moss looked very good running with the ball on that first drive. But going up the middle, it seems like the Falcons are at least holding them to at most 3 yards on those. But 3 yards in a cloud of synthetic turf pellets. Well, it worked out well enough, though, on that drive for the Buccaneers.
Bit of an interesting look on the kickoff here for Mass Maritime. But they will just kick it deep. Knight takes it in at about the 12-yard line. Cuts to the far side. He's got great blocking. He's across the 40-yard line to midfield. Easy McKnight is into Buccaneer territory before being ridden out of bounds. Great kick return there for Easy McKnight. Immediately gives Fitchburg State's offense great field position, Dan. And you've got to think the Falcons need to take advantage of it here.
Plenty of time to settle under that ball, get himself ready, and just shows off his explosiveness. Just blasts down the far side, and great field position for the Falcons.
Evan LeBron operating from the shotgun. He's got Aguirre to the right of him. Hands it off to Aguirre on 1st down. Tries to spin out of a tackle. Not much doing there for him. Good work by Jackson Mahoney, dragging Aguirre down.
Mahoney came to this game with 4 tackles for a loss. He already has 2 in this contest. He's done quite well to break into the backfield. And both times Aguirre's tried to run with the ball, he's lost yardage, mainly due to Mahoney's efforts.
Mass Maritime's rush defense as advertised at the start. Loss of a couple, it'll be 2nd down and 12 for Fitchburg. LeBron will throw. Pass to the near side is incomplete. In and out of his receiver's hands. Was looking for Andrew.
P.J. Norton.
P.J. Norton, thank you. I was going to say Andrew Novak, but I was like, wait a second, that's Norton took a big hit as that ball came in. Take another look at it here. Pass was delivered on time, but it was, again, just a big hit in the back by Dimitri Boozer. Knocked that one away from Norton. Now 3rd and 13. Falcons don't necessarily need to get all of it. If they can get some here, it'll make a more manageable 4th down. Pass over the middle, incomplete again. It's Boozer knocking it loose. This time they were trying to hit
Emilio Caby.
Thank you. Had his number for it. They were trying to hit Caby over the middle, and Boozer just knocked it loose. Boozer was there, and that was also Joshua Cannon. Feels like he got hit by a cannonball. But with the field position they have, Fitchburg State elects not to punt. They will go for it. 4th and 13. They need to get to the 21. LeBron over the middle. Wide open. Great space there. Devin LeBron finds the open man, P.J. Norton. That's good for a Fitchburg first down.
Ninth catch of the season for the former Marblehead magician. Just a strong throw over the middle, great spiral, and drops it right in the bucket. Norton's waiting right there for it. It's a first down.
1st and 10 from the 12. They go back to the ground. Aguirre. I think he stumbled taking the handoff. He's able to stumble forward all the way to the 10-yard line.
There's a little bit of a hole there on the left side. Maybe not the best handoff in the world. Yeah, just lost his footing as he was getting it, but
never had his footing.
Yeah.
Still picked up a couple of yards. I think that's the most positive rushing play the Falcons have had today.
It is. Even with a patch of ice right on the right foot of Aguirre there.
2nd down and about 8 from the 10-yard line. So the Falcons can get a first down without getting a touchdown. LeBron to the far side, pass is caught by KB. Lunging forward, and he's knocked out of bounds. A gain of about 3, call it 3rd and 5 coming up.
Just a quick throw out to that right side. KB's got to come back a little bit to get it, and then his momentum took him a little backwards as he's trying to battle with those 2 defenders.
I think, Dan, if Fitchburg State's going to get some consistent gain on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to be with these quick passes. Just get the ball out of LeBron's hands into the hands of your receivers. Let him try to make a play. 3rd and a long 5. Play fake. LeBron for the end zone. I think there were whistles before the play.
There was obvious motion on the line. It's probably for the best, considering that pass fell incomplete anyway.
So the Falcons will get another shot at it. Take a look here. Yeah, you see the right tackle goes a good second or so before the rest of the line.
Everyone went on 3, but he went on 2.
So that'll back the Falcons back up at about the 14. They need 11 on this 3rd down. Play fake. LeBron will go to the end zone on the right side this time and incomplete. Very similar to the last play, just going the other direction. Trying to hit Zahir Gomez. It'll be 4th down for Fitchburg State, and here comes the field goal team.
We've seen early on, the passes have been on target, but Maritime's done very well to get their hands up in there and really prevent them from getting anything good going. Isaac Colon had the defensive coverage, the freshman from Fiskdale, the former Tantascwa Warrior. He's been on FATV before.
Jonah Costa on to attempt the field goal. And is this his first try of the year? Stat sheet would have me think it's his first try of the year.
It is his first try of the year. He's definitely got the leg from this distance.
From 31, he most certainly does have the leg. That kick is good. Jonah Costa knocks it through, pumps his fist in celebration. Fitchburg State is on the board 7-3 in favor of Mass Maritime. Let's take a moment to thank the underwriters who help provide coverage of this and all remote productions here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, Lemonster Credit Union, the Sentinel and Enterprise, and Minuteman Press.
Our thanks, as always, to those businesses who provide underwriting for us here at FATV. And of course, if you have a business in or around Fitchburg and are interested in helping us out, go to fatv.org. You'll find all the pertinent information you need right there.
Hunter Sands is now going to kick off for the Falcons. It's cost of the first couple of games, but now they've been switching more towards Sands on the kickoffs.
Sands averaging about 50 yards per kickoff. It's a pretty solid boot taken in at the 14-yard line. Really not much doing at all. Great downfield coverage for Fitchburg State.
Owen Lane, who had the return there. Lane has only averaged about 10 yards a run back.
Turn this time well in line with that. Mass Maritime will start 1st and 10 at about their own 22-yard line. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. So Dan, Fitchburg State got the really good field position after the return by Easy McKnight. Weren't able to convert it into a touchdown, but they did at least get a field goal out of it.
It's a positive. It gets you on the board, and you know there's more to build on there.
First down run straight up the gut for Zach Proctor. Good second effort for him, gets across the 20-yard line. Gain of 8 for him. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 21. 31.
I was going to say you undersold him a little bit, but I think I had that happen to me last night. Definitely Proctor's most successful run on the contest. Been held to 3 for 8 and a long of 4, so that time gets significantly more, about 9.
Second down, they'll go right back to him. He's got the first down out to about the 35-yard line. So Mass Maritime having success on the ground. It's not going to come in huge chunks unless there are some missed tackles. But if the line provides the blocking, they'll take 5 yards a run all day long.
This is a Maritime team that's more than content to grind it down, especially now that they have the lead.
Pierce checks his wristband. Go under center on 1st and 10 from the 35. Option pitch comes to the near side, dancing out of one tackle, hit from behind, but not before he picks up a first down. It's a great run by Daniel Malloy. Gain of about 12 for him and another Buccaneer first down.
The power of the triple option there. Takes the handoff to Proctor and then waits and pitches it out to Malloy, who finds some space. When they've been able to pitch it out there and get to the flanks, that's where they found their most success there. It's a good run for a first down for the Buccaneers.
Bucks pretty much directly in front of us. Pierce back to throw. Pass to the near side is overthrown and incomplete. He was looking for Brooks Moss. Coverage downfield by Jordan Cummings for the Falcons.
Moss is one of the 6 Buccaneers who entered today with a reception, had a 24-yard catch earlier in the campaign. And although he was able to get to the flank and break free, the problem was even then, the ball was still a little farther ahead of him.
Still, Mass Maritime, Dan, going to the air just enough and in just enough unpredictable situations that Fitchburg State has to respect it. You can't completely sell out for the run. Second down, we get more whistles before the play. I think this will back the Buccaneers up. So false start against the Bucks. Really tell who it was there. I don't know if I just wasn't looking at the right place. Give myself another chance at it. Thank you to the guys in the truck. I think it was the left tackle up at the top of the screen there. Thomas Russell, the guilty party. It's a 5-yard penalty. Sets up second down and 15 for Mass Maritime. Pierce pitches to Moss. He's into Falcon territory. He's got a first down. There's a flag down, however. This one might be coming back. The ball is loose. Deep in Falcon territory. It's fallen on by a Buccaneer. This would be an incredible play for Mass Maritime, but again, there is a flag down at about the Falcon 42-yard line.
A hold against Eddie Keller will moot a lot of that. Now, if the fumble had been recovered by the Falcons, they would have been happy to decline the penalty and take that. You'll notice Moss ends up being the 3rd Buccaneer hit because they sold out for the original run up the middle to Proctor, and then for the second attempt by Malloy, who never had the ball, and neither of them had the ball, but it was just Pierce with good misdirection, eventually holding it long enough that he's able to pitch it to Moss, who's able to get out to the flank. A lot of those yards will still count, as it will end up being just 2nd and 9.
Hold occurred beyond the first down stick. Now they'll try the option to the near side. Pierce will keep it himself, cuts up field. Gets back into Falcon territory to about the 45. Worked out to be a good decision by Pierce. He picks up about 7. Be 3rd and call it a long one.
Looked like where he was in the backfield originally, he wasn't going to get much, but as he cut up field, he was able to get that space for the first down, to make it close to the first down. This will be a first down after that.
They give it to Proctor once again. He's able to burst through the line and pick up the first down. Officials stopped the clock as a Falcon was a little bit hobbled coming off the field. But on these 3rd and 4th downs, Dan, Mass Maritime really likes to just hurry up to the line, try to catch Fitchburg State sleeping.
They only get a couple of yards on these runs, but it's enough yardage.
Yeah, if it's 3rd and 1 and you pick up 2, that's a good run.
You don't need a whole lot of yardage on those runs. So we've reached 1 quarter time here at Elliott Field. 7-3, the Buccaneers in front.
Very impressed by the rushing offense of Mass Maritime, Dan. Again, they've gone to the air just enough that the Falcons can't just, rush 11 guys, try to get the ball carrier, pay no attention to the receivers downfield. Fitchburg State has to respect, they're being kept honest, is what Mass Maritime's doing. So they keep the Falcons honest. That opens up the defense just enough that they're able to do what they really want to do, which is run it down Fitchburg's throats.
Indeed, and right now they're finding success doing that and grinding this game down. I think the Falcons only had the ball for 4 minutes and 20 seconds in that first quarter. And Maritime would be more than happy to dominate the time of possession in this contest. The way they're controlling the football, they're doing well in doing that.
Yeah, if they have 40 minutes of possession in this game, they're going to win. I feel pretty confident saying that.
Seems pretty likely. A quick out-of-town scoreboard. I'm not going to give you any scores yet, as only one game is going on right now. Worcester State hosting UMass Dartmouth. Westfield's hosting Framingham. Castleton's hosting Plymouth. Westcon is hosting Bridgewater. And as we've learned, too, this season, no teams are taking a week off when everybody else is in action because everybody took last week off.
Second quarter of action just about ready to get underway, and here with the play-by-play is Dan Bolak.
Buccaneers will now go from right to left. Put a man in motion, give it to Proctor on the left side. Proctor quickly met on the left side. Dexter Brown, Manny Cano, both there to meet him. Proctor gains a couple.
We haven't seen Proctor used quite as abusively as Scott Proctor might have been back in the day. They like going to him quite a bit.
Maybe a couple and a half or more than a couple, because it was actually about 5 yards. Because they're not very deep in the backfield the way they set up. So it's not a lot to gain to get across the line of scrimmage. This pitch out to the left side looks like it was Moss. Moss gets to about the 30. That's good enough for a first down. That'll be the 8th of the day for Mass Maritime.
Noticing Daniel Malloy's a little hobbled as he comes back up to the line. He was blocking on this play. See, he goes down to the turf right there, just favoring that leg as he came back to the huddle. Something to keep an eye on.
Malloy, Moss, and Proctor in the backfield. Evan Pierce, the quarterback. 1st and 10. With a stutter step, and then Proctor will take the ball. Just drives up the middle, gets himself a few more yards. To the 25, it's another 5.
Dan, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast the belief that the Falcons would have an advantage directly over center with Cam Manette lined up against that, frankly, the undersized centers of Mass Maritime. But that has not been the case. The interior of the offensive line has done really good work for the Buccaneers. They've been getting more and more success going right down the middle.
Go out to the right side, Pierce keeps it himself. The misdirection, he's past the 25-yard line. And down inside the 20, it's another first down.
Play calling's just varied enough for the Buccaneers that the Falcons are unable to sell out to stop one particular run, one particular lane of attack. Just when Fitchburg State thinks they have the answers, Mass Maritime is happy to change the questions.
Triple offense can be challenging to deal with. It's Proctor to the right side, tries to spin out of a tackle. Cano was the first to arrive, shook him off. A couple more Falcons will have the reinforcements. We'll get to the 13-yard line for a 4-yard gain.
Novak in on the hit for the Falcons.
Maritime continuing to bully their way downfield. 2nd and 7. A run up the middle. It's Proctor who has the carry that time. Cano with the tackle. Gets him to about the 10-yard line.
This time, Manny Cano is able to break into the backfield. Jacob Blanford in there as well for Fitchburg State.
Blanford, one of the leading tacklers in last week's game against Framingham State. He had 6. 2 for 4 is Mass Maritime on 3rd down in this contest. Take a man in motion. Pierce will keep it himself. He's not going to get much of anywhere this time.
Took a good second effort just to get him to the 10-yard line. 4th down. The Bucks are not bringing on their field goal unit. I think they want to go for it here.
No field goal attempts on the season, at least from the kickers currently on the roster. That time, that was a rare one where they just weren't getting anything working that time. Pierce tries to cut up the middle, but there's nothing there for him.
The distance is such that they can't even sneak it up the middle.
They got to get about 3 yards here for a 1st down. Wants to throw, throws over the middle. Intercepted by Burmester! That's the first interception Maritime's thrown all season.
Ordinarily, Dan, on 4th down, the defensive play is to knock it down. But Burmester sees this one coming. He comes from across the formation, Dan. He was lined up as the right linebacker. He came all the way across to the defense's left. Great job by him in that underneath zone. Leaps up, makes the pick, gets a little bit on the return as well.
Only 8 teams in the nation had no interceptions coming into today. You can strike Maritime off that list. Make it 7 on 1st down. It's Aguirre going up the middle. Gets about a yard from the 17 to the 18-yard line.
Saw a player's helmet come off. That was Nicholas Marin. Take another look at the interception by Burmester. Just great athleticism by him getting up, making that pick. And then again, he does pick up some positive yardage on the return as well.
2nd down, LeBron's got to spin out of a tackle, stays on his feet, and then stumbles to the 20-yard line. Boy, he could have gone even farther if it wasn't for that, but still great pressure by Maritime to flush LeBron out, never give him a chance to throw.
It looked for just a second, Dan, like LeBron had escaped the pressure and was going to take off and run. But just at the last moment, a Buccaneer was able to get a hand out there and trip him up. Still a gain on the play, but not nearly as much as it could have been.
3rd down and 7 coming now for the Falcons. We're still on just 1 1st down in this contest. Slightly off kilter snap, but the throw is there to Emilio Caby cutting across the middle. Caby down at the 37-yard line. It's a 1st down.
Caby lined up on the near side. Just comes across the middle of the field. Finally wrestled down. But not before he picks up a Fitchburg 1st down.
Falcons will try running on 1st down. They want to establish the run game. Maritime's making it very hard for them to do that. Aguirre runs right into the line, gets 1 yard.
I think the Falcons can have success on the ground, Dan, but they can't do it on 1st and 10, at least not now. They need to display a willingness to throw the ball, throw it short, maybe try a screen or something on first down, loosen up the Buccaneer defense, try to get it to 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, something like that, and then go to the ground. Doing it on 1st and 10 is a recipe for disaster.
Putting 5-6 on the line as they go to the right side this time. A little more success there out of Aguirre. Gets past the 40-yard line to the 41.
And it's tough because, even with Rocky Marchitelli, Fitchburg wanted to move the ball on the ground, and that's only more so the case now that they've had to go to Devin LeBron. But we have seen LeBron have a little bit of success through the air. That last pass to KB was a good one. Fitchburg State, I think if they want to move the ball offensively, they have to acknowledge that they're not going to get it done on the ground and just go to the air.
Moving all around on the line here. It's a 5-receiver set. Empty backfield. Hit as he threw, dropped it in. Did he catch that?
I think he did. KB was falling backward as he made the catch. But make the catch he did. 1st and 10 Fitchburg at midfield.
LeBron was hit as he threw, was wobbling a little bit to the target, but KB hauled it in anyway. It was a direct snap to Aguirre this time, and he's rolling, timing up field. Gets to the 47-yard line.
Take another look at this pass to KB. Falcons went empty. Unblocked rusher came from the right. Braun just basically dropped that in.
Yeah, there's 5 Buccaneers around KB. He is very well covered, but somehow was still able to get that ball. Aguirre again on the direct snap. Wildcatting a little bit here.
Well, if the traditional running game isn't working, got to try something different.
Can't recall Aguirre being used to take the direct snaps. They're keeping LeBron in, but basically lining LeBron up like he's the running back. They're willing to snap it like LeBron's the quarterback, but then it goes into the hands of 23 instead. This time LeBron will take the snap, roll to the left, has some time, gets a throw off, wanted Norden, but just a little too far in front of him. Also solid coverage there by Liam Hines, the captain for the Buccaneers.
Now it's 4th and 4 at the 44-yard line. And you know I'm a gambler at heart. I love to see this. The Falcons are going for it.
At the very least, they would like to see if Maritime might fall for a hard count. He's going to take the snap. He's got some time. Gets a throw off. Coverage is there. Pass is incomplete. Wanted Deshaun Curtis, but he had a Buccaneer draped over him, able to reach down and knock it away.
Good protection that time for LeBron. He was able to find his receiver, deliver the ball, but a great hit.
Lucas Casey Moore credited with the pass breakup. 5'7", 151 from Austin, Texas. Falcons move the ball well downfield, but ultimately run out of downs. Buccaneers will have it. New quarterback, 1st and 10, roll to the right side. It was a new running back as well, completely new look for the Buccaneers. It was John Carlson pitching it to Ryan Keelty. And that didn't really go much of anywhere.
Didn't see anything to indicate an injury to Pierce, did you, Dan?
No, but also this is just a completely different group of players playing as the backs for the Buccaneers. Carlson wants to keep it himself, going to the left side, and no success there. Does maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more than that. Lampert's there, Burmester's there. They will give him the line of scrimmage and nothing else. I think this is just a change of pace here. We mentioned that Maritime had 14 different players run the ball last time out against UMass Dartmouth. And this is a team that I guess may not be afraid to just change the whole setup there in the backfield. So a lot of different players. Chase Dombrowski is in the backfield as well.
Isaiah Ricketson on the field. First time we've called his name today.
Yeah, none of these players were in the backfield on the last one. It's going to be an end around on the pitch out to the right side. Nobody's there. It's going to be a first down for the Buccaneers. Great run there by Brennan Keefe. He had the catch earlier, and that time he takes it on the end around. No one there on the right side because they thought they'd accounted for all the possible plays, but they hadn't seen that one yet.
Make it look like it's the option, but actually it's Keefe on the end around. Even if you don't want to go to the air, there are still plenty of ways to mix up the looks. And there are plenty of ways to give 5 yards to the defense.
21 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Isaiah Ricketson, the sophomore from Abington. Question for you, Dan.
Yep.
Might be a little early in the contest, but what the heck? Where in the heck is Abington, Massachusetts?
On the South Shore, their mascot are the Green Wave.
Makes sense.
I've also been told they're one of the handful of high school facilities that mic up their referees. It's a list that's not very big, but I know at least 2 schools that are on it. There's an issue with the ball on that snap. And they say the Falcons have it. Manny Cano was the one who handed it to the referee, so he got it. But yeah, things went horribly wrong for the Buccaneers on that snap, and the Falcons will take advantage.
Oh, fascinating, and with the benefit of hindsight, bizarre decision to cycle in an entirely new set of offensive personnel. This time Carlson's never able to handle the snap. Cano ultimately falls on it. Fitchburg gets the ball back basically at midfield.
Seemed like the center just had trouble snapping it through his own legs. It's a direct snap to Aguirre, will just go straight up the middle. So again, we've been seeing that a little more, that they're trying to use Aguirre as a wildcat quarterback. It's starting to gain a bit of effectiveness there.
I would not be at all surprised, Dan, especially if this keeps working this way for Fitchburg State. They've got to have a play in the book where the ball gets back into LeBron's hands and he chucks it downfield, don't they?
Perhaps. Now LeBron throws right side. That one's incomplete, too far in front of KB and too far in front of Norton, who he's actually throwing for. That looks like some miscommunication the way the players were moving. KB was open, but he didn't move.
I think he was trying to hit Norton. I'm not sure if it was an underthrown ball or if he just miscommunication on the route.
I think it's more the latter to me than the former, especially since how open KB was. I know he was looking for Norton. He definitely wanted to go to number 10. 3 receivers to the left now out of this third down formation. LeBron gonna look around. Now he's gonna roll to his right, just try to find some space, some time, but he's not able to get much of anywhere.
It's a flag down. It was thrown in the vicinity of the line of scrimmage. Usually indicates a hold against the offense.
Matt Kromanek and Kyle Stevens were in the backfield there to wreak havoc.
The call from Mr. Goslin is a hold against Fitchburg State that'll be declined.
Holding, 74 offense, penalty be refused, 4th down.
We'll give forward progress to the 44-yard line, but the Falcons can't go for it with this distance, so we'll just have to play the field position game and drive it downfield off the foot of Hunter Sands. High snap, but it gets into Sands' hands. Well rushed, though. Ball will eventually make its way to the 23-yard line.
Sands wanted a roughing the kicker penalty. Not going to get it. Great work today by Sands, Dan. He's had 2 very difficult snaps to work with, one that bounced before he took it in, and one that was over his head. Both times he's been able to get the kick away. And now with less than 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half, Mass Maritime really not an offense that's built to go downfield in a hurry. Take a look right there. You could probably get at least a running into the kicker there. I don't know about roughing, but I'm a little surprised, having seen the replay, that there wasn't any kind of flags thrown.
We'll go back to the first squad. And Moss will take the pitch out, but he's not nearly enough to the flank to get that space. And he just finds 4 Falcons to meet him instead.
Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts. I think if the Falcons are similarly successful on second down, they might start using theirs.
But now we have...
This is the two-minute timeout.
It's the 2-minute, everybody be calm. This is not a drill. There's 2 minutes left in the half.
And with 2 minutes left in the half, 7-3 Maritime in front. Daniel Bolak, John Krugerty here with you. And this has been a game that's gone quite quickly because we are 46 minutes past the hour and we are very close to halftime.
Well, we expected, Dan, coming in that this would be a defensive struggle, and it has played out to that effect. Obviously, Mass Maritime's offense stymied by turnovers on their last possession. Fitchburg State defense has done a good job. The leg of Joe Acosta able to give the Falcons 3 points after an excellent kickoff return by Easy McKnight. This is anybody's ball game.
Falcons held to just 56 yards of offense thus far in this first half. Maritime's defense is as advertised. 135 yards in the ground on 32 plays for the Buccaneers. Three timeouts, 120 seconds to navigate the field. It'll be Proctor will take it up the right side, doesn't find a whole lot. Maybe gets back to the original line of 1st and 10. Gets back to the couple of yards that they lost on first down.
And at this point, Dan, I'm surprised that Fitchburg State has not taken a timeout here. Mass Maritime will get the ball to start the third quarter. I would think if you're Izzy Abraham, you want to maximize the chances for your offense. Even if you do get the ball back, with 1 timeout in a minute and a half, it's better than not getting it at all, which is what may well be the case if they don't take any timeouts here.
Maritime's going to definitely take a timeout here because the play clock has just run out.
First timeout, Mass Maritime.
Yeah, the Buccaneers are more than happy to let as much time as possible run off the clock. I think they knew after that first down play went nowhere that they were not going to rush downfield and try to get more points on the board here in the second quarter.
Especially knowing that Maritime's got the ball to start the second half. I'll try to see how Worcester is doing against UMass Dartmouth. My initial thought is...
Guess not well.
The other nautical mascot, UMass Dartmouth, the Corsairs, already have 3 scores on the Lancers.
I see.
Yep, they are 21 minutes into that contest.
Well, that's not good for Worcester.
It is not. Looking ahead for these two teams, Maritime will be on the road again next week. A little shorter drive for them. They'll be taking on Framingham. Noontime start from Bowditch Field. The Falcons will be back at home next week, so they'll be taking on the Spartans of Castleton. That's a 3 o'clock start. Keep that one in mind. It's the one home game this year that is not starting at noon.
And we'll have coverage of that game, of course, here on FATV.
Castleton's got a 3-hour bus ride here, so a noontime start
Would be mean.
Yeah, it didn't jive well with them. 3rd and 9 coming with 75 seconds to go in the first half. It will be a delayed pitch off to Moss. Tries to get to the left side. Not going to get very far. Past the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons are definitely going to call timeout here.
First timeout, Fitchburg. Please reset the game clock to 1:05, 1:05.
Officials will put 13 seconds back on the clock here, so Fitchburg
Yes, they
State
did.
will have a
Thank
minute
you.
and 5. Always good to see the Manners. We like to hear Bill Goslin thanking our clock operator.
He does high school games here in Central Mass, and he's one of the gold standards of referees around here. I think he's one of the best.
You know you're in for a good game, or at least a well officiated. So Fitchburg State's offense figures to get the ball back in with about a minute to play. They will have 2 timeouts in the bag.
Connor Malone is back to punt it away for the Buccaneers. Easy McKnight standing around his 39-yard line. Punt's not going to make it to there. It will die at around the Falcon 45-yard line. We'll mark it at the 46. Falcons will have 54 yards to gain in 57 seconds.
We saw, Dan, on Jonah Costa's kick earlier. That kick was a 31-yard field goal. I think it would have been good from 45. It had plenty of leg.
I know Costa, having watched him in warm-ups, definitely has the leg for 40.
So Fitchburg only needs about 30 yards to get into field goal range here, but obviously they'd prefer to have 6 points.
LeBron out of empty backfield, throws over the middle, intercepted! Picked off by Liam Hines, who's continuing to run it back down the far side. Can they catch him? They will not. Touchdown, Buccaneers. The best case scenario for Mass Maritime. Force a turnover on the very first play of the drive and get 6 of your own. A 60-yard pick six turns this game on its head.
We mentioned that Mass Maritime really doesn't have the explosive offense. Who needs it when your defense can put up points of its own? I think LeBron was trying to hit KB, but the pass was over his head, pretty much right into the hands of Liam Hines.
Extra point is blocked. Falcons are going to try to run it back. They can get it back to the 27-yard line. It was Novak who was trying to bring it back. That would have been particularly interesting. Wouldn't you have liked a 13-5 scoreline?
Would have been nice. Kick was just low, Dan. Falcons got a number of hands up there. Guys actually leaping up to block that kick. Kick was too low to get over them.
And in whirling was 5 for 7 coming into today. The first one was pretty solid. That one, not as much. So it's just the 6 that they concede on the pick 6.
And now, Dan, with just 15 seconds off the clock or so, if anything, the situation has become even more demanding that Fitchburg State try to go downfield. The question is, obviously, it's a very quick turnaround for Devin LeBron. You just threw a pick 6. Can you regather yourself? Can you get the offense together and go downfield? And for Izzy Abraham, do you want to take that chance?
I think it's going to come down to how far back the Falcons can run this back. We saw Easy McKnight with a great kick return that got the ball into Buccaneer territory. They squib it this time. And Quatchett, as he was gathering that football in, stepped out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
And that might put a damper on any thoughts that the Falcons had of trying to rush downfield. They do still have 2 timeouts.
And no one can ask, what's the worst that can happen? It was what happened on the last play. That was the worst.
We've seen the worst that can happen, so hopefully you don't see it again. Take a look at the end of this kickoff return. Quatchett trying to tiptoe up the far sideline, but you can see he steps on the white 1, maybe 2 times there. So that return ends before it can begin.
Guerre to the left side. Stayed on his feet. Definitely one of his better rushes on the day. The Falcons will call their second timeout.
Second charge timeout, Mass Maritime.
I think that's Mass Maritime being charged with the timeout, Dan. Liam Hines, who had the pick 6 on the last drive, was actually down, got his helmet knocked off. So the injury stoppage will cost the Buccaneers a timeout. It's their second of the half. They have one remaining. Presumably they're not going to use it, but we'll see.
Yeah, because that's also the other thing, too, is it's not like you can call all your timeouts just to get the ball back because they don't have enough timeouts for the downs.
Yeah, if Fitchburg wants to, they can run out the remaining time in this half. I think that's the conversation that offensive coordinator Garrett Delakiai is having with his team right now.
On the day, the Falcons just 64 yards of offense. Guillory 10 for 23. Devin LeBron 4 of 13 through the air for 50 yards. And we saw a pick 6. Falcons are 68 yards from goal with only 28 seconds to work with.
All right, I know there's Freddie the Falcon. I want to know who the guy in the striped overalls is. Could just be a guy.
Make the handoff to KB, go with the Guillory instead. But that was just broken up there by Marcus Masseri, the sophomore from
Third
Scituate.
and final timeout of the first half, Mass Maritime.
Just blew that one up.
The Bucks do take their last time out. Well, they've seen Fitchburg turn it over once. Always the chance for a botched snap, something like that. We saw last night at Crocker Field, shotgun snap can go bad very quickly. Resulted in a safety for Westboro last night. So Dan, seriously, who is this fellow?
No idea.
A very passionate Falcon fan.
Very interesting overalls.
Also, Waldo is here. Sporting the green and gold hat.
You found him. 21 seconds to go, 70 yards. And if the Falcons decide they want to take the kneel down, Maritime can do nothing to get the ball back. The Falcons will take the kneel down, and Maritime can do nothing to get the ball back. We'll go into the half with a 13-3 lead for the Mass Maritime Buccaneers.
So really, Dan, this was looking pretty much as advertised. A defensive struggle, both sides moving the ball offensively in fits and starts. Fitchburg State got it back. Falcons got it back with about a minute to play in the second quarter. They had 2 timeouts. They were looking to move the ball downfield. Unfortunately, an overthrown pass by LeBron, a pick 6 for Liam Hines. And now everything's coming up Mass Maritime. They lead by 2 scores and will get the ball to start the third quarter.
The main key is Maritime has controlled the game the way they want to control it. Grinding it on the ground and eating up the time of possession, and they've been very stingy on the pass defense. The advertisement in terms of pass defense is that it's about only half as good as the rush defense. The Falcons have 50 yards through the air and just 14 on the ground, actually even less now. It's only 8 on the ground compared to 50 through the air. So the Falcons are still finding most of their success through the air, but now they've also just conceded 6 points through the air. But I think the Falcons can't be scared. They've got to keep sticking with the aerial attack.
No, I think you're absolutely correct. Fitchburg State, in my estimation, needs to go, maybe not exclusively through the air, but I really want to see the first time Fitchburg gets the ball on that first and 10, throw the ball. You don't have to chuck it downfield. You don't have to go to the end zone. Try a bubble screen. Try a quick hitter. Try something other than a simple traditional handoff. We'll see if the Falcons go in that direction, and we'll see if they're able to get back in this game. But Dan and I will take the halftime break with the players. We encourage you to come on back for the third quarter. It's College Football Saturday here on FATV. Here at Elliott Field, College Football Saturday on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bullock. Dan, this was looking like a very tight game. It was 1 score with just under a minute to play in the first half, but then one really bad mistake by the Falcons has put them in a very bad position as we get ready to start quarter number 3.
Oh, absolutely. Falcons were driving down by 4 points, had decent field position, and throw over the middle, overthrew his receiver, and Liam Hines, 60-yard pick six. Turn it around, 13-6 Maritime in front. They ground out for the opening score. Evan Pierce punched it in from 1 yard on a 4th down. That was the original score. Falcons took advantage of a great kickoff return from Easy McKnight, got it to the 31-yard line, got a 31-yard field goal from Jonah Costa that was good from beyond 40. Made it 7-3. It's been a close one. 2 turnovers for the Buccaneers, 1 turnover for the Falcons, but far more costly than the 2 that Maritime had.
That pick six extended the lead, so it is 13-3 in favor of the Buccaneers. And remember, Mass Maritime won the opening kickoff and chose to defer, so they will get the ball as we get set to begin the 3rd quarter of action here from Elliott Field on the campus of Fitchburg State University, just down the road from the Wallace Civic Center. And hey, if you park at the Civic Center, there's a lovely little trail, so you can park right there, walk up, enjoy the rest of this game, or stick with us here on FATV.
Right down there, the Wallace Civic Center, we actually talked with a few of the hockey players.
Got a chance to speak with Toivo Kramer, among others. They're here celebrating homecoming, showing off the new Fitchburg Road jerseys for the hockey team. There'll be new home unis as well.
The road jerseys look really nice. Mr. Kramer described the home jerseys to us, and they sound like they're going to be very nice as well. They're going to be a sharp-looking team, and they're going to be one of the favorites, I think, in the MASCAC this year. Right up there with Plymouth. I think they're going to pick up right where they left off the Falcons ice hockey team MASCAC finalists last year. And I think they have a good shot at getting back there. Hunter Sands will boot it away. It sails well in the air. Picked up by Owen Lane, who tries to cut to the middle of the field. Much better run back than his last one. A yellow handkerchief, multiple yellow handkerchiefs will fly as Lane was taken down at the 30-yard line.
There was one thrown from the far sideline that came in at about the 30, and then there was another from way in the back, way behind the play. Came into about the 40-yard line. Don't know if this is different fouls or if it was just something so obvious that multiple officials saw it.
During the return, number 23, block in the back, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Mass Maritime.
Rex Sullivan, the freshman from Everett, who graduated from Sanborn Regional, which is not in the same state as Everett.
Take a look at it on the right side of the frame here. That's a pretty obvious block in the back. I can see how that would have been seen from multiple officials several dozen yards away from it. Anytime you run up behind a guy and send him flying, it's probably against one rule.
Called it basically at the end of the run back. So the 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Evan Pierce with the handoff. Now go to the left side. They wanted Proctor, and the Falcons found Proctor and told him, "You're not going anywhere." Give him a yard.
Zach Proctor, 11 carries, 43 yards in the first half. He and Pierce got the lion's share of the work.
Brooks Moss did pretty well running the ball as well, 5 for 31, especially getting into the outside. There's the pitch out there to Malloy, but he's not able to get past Manny Cano. Cano will wrestle him down at the 26-yard line. Cano was in on a number of tackles in the first half. He had 5. Sebastian Burmester, Dexter Brown right now with 8 tackles. Brown now up to 9 with the last play entered in on the live stats.
You mentioned Mass Maritime has a number of different looks, a number of different guys they like to get the ball to. 7 different ball carriers in the first half against just 4 attempted passes, only 1 completion.
3rd down and 4. They try to go up the middle for Proctor. Falcons had it read well. And Proctor, just like on 1st down, goes nowhere. Cam Manette fired up there.
Remember, Dan, Jamie Rogers, the assistant SID here at Fitchburg State, was saying before this game he expected Cam Manette to have a great game being moved into that nose tackle position. And you see it paying dividends there.
Had 4 first-half tackles. They've been working hard to try to avoid him in his direction. Logan Tasika is back there to kick this one away. It's a very solid boot into it. Easy McKnight has to take several back steps. Shakes out of one tackle, stays on his feet past the 40-yard line, down at the 41. Good return by Elijah Zaire McKnight. Falcons will have 59 yards to go, looking for their first touchdown of the contest, trailing by 10.
It's a great kick by Tasika. You see McKnight takes it on the back step. Good work by him to get anything on that return. Still good field position, though, for Fitchburg State. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 41. We'll see what they want to do on the offense.
Devin LeBron has been the quarterback for the Falcons today. Rocky Marchitelli unavailable. First down, it is a handoff. Going to the right side is Matty Aguirre. It's a solid first down run. We saw the Falcons in the first half really struggled with those first half runs. But that time, Aguirre able to find an opening and get 5 yards.
Aguirre averaging less than 2 yards per carry. He did have a little bit more success as the first half went along, Dan. Falcons went to a couple of direct snaps to him. That time the traditional handoff gets a good 5-yard gain.
Aguirre takes it this time, again on the direct snap, going around to the left side. There's a lot of room to run. He's at midfield, past midfield to the 45-yard line of Mass Maritime. And there's a first down for the Falcons.
It's great running by Aguirre. I also want to call out the blocking you'll see on this run by Emilio Cabe. Cabe's right there on the left side of your screen, just holding that defender, letting Aguirre turn the corner. Not actually holding, you know, blocking the defender.
2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and Aguirre in the backfield. Devin LeBron ready to take it. Going to keep it himself, try to go up the middle, stumble a little bit on the option. Might have stopped his momentum a little bit, but LeBron's still able to get about 3 yards on first down.
That time LeBron saying he's not the Mass Maritime isn't the only team on the field that can run the option. He's watching that defensive end. Once he crashes down toward Aguirre, he just pulls the ball back, keeps it himself. Only got a couple, but it's better than he would have got if he had handed it off.
Marcelo Giavalos taking it on the end around. Maritime not giving him any room to work with. And Avalos will get back to the line of scrimmage. Two-yard gain brings up 3rd and 8.
Saw Fitchburg State go for it on 4th and 4 in a very similar position early in this game, Dan. I think if they get any kind of positive yardage here, maybe 4-down territory for Garrett Delakiai's offense once again.
Perhaps 8 yards to get a first. Oriwakite Fatoki in the backfield. First time we've seen him there today. They lofted up on the right side. Pressure and broke it up by Liam Hines. Wanted Emilio Cabe. Ball was in the correct area, but Hines had better positioning and just bats that away.
Hines looked like a center on this one. He just swatted that away like he was blocking a shot.
Trying to do his best Dikembe Mutombo impression. Everything but the finger wag.
Falcons will bring on Hunter Sands. Try to continue the field position battle.
I think it's just because it's 8 yards to get a first down here is what makes it a little more challenging.
I didn't say I disagreed with it.
Snap is solid. Sands' boot is solid. Trying to aim for the corner. It's not going to get to the corner. It'll hop into the end zone for a touchback.
Wind up being a net of just 24 yards on the punt. But still, the Buccaneers have it at their own 20. Fitchburg's defense is able to stop them pretty well on their first possession. See if the Falcons are able to rise to the occasion again. I've seen Trevor Bennett, the junior quarterback from Gorham, Maine, throwing pretty constantly throughout this game on the near sideline, Dan. I imagine he's probably just staying loose in case anything should happen. But Rocky Marchitelli is not in uniform. If he's down there, he's one of the guys not wearing his jersey even, so Bennett would be the backup for the Falcons.
First down, Pierce kept it himself. That turned out not to be the best play. As the Falcons wrap them up. And when the Falcons break through the line, it's not just 1 or 2 Falcons taking a player down in the backfield, it's 3 or 4.
I don't know if there was a correct option here, Dan. The initial handoff was wrapped up, the pitch was going to be swallowed up, the quarterback didn't get anything.
Maybe the handoff would have been the least worst option because I think it would have only lost 1 yard, but this ended up losing 2.
Saw Mass Maritime have some success with an end around earlier. It might be time to open up the play calling a little bit again.
Dabrowski take it on the left side. Check that. No, that's Dabrowski. You know, I guessed on the name because I didn't have it established hard in my head, and actually I was right the first time.
You absolutely were.
The sophomore from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, gets a few on second down.
Breaks out of the initial hit from the net, but he's able to be brought down that time by Dexter Brown Jr. There you see Brown. He's a junior from Peabody.
Third and 5. They'll pitch it out. Malloy had a little bit of trouble receiving that, and Elijah Zaire-McKnight's got him wrapped up. Forward progress will be stopped. And it'll be no gain for Mass Maritime. Falcons get a big stop.
Take another look at this one, Dan. This is tremendous work by Easy McKnight. He diagnoses the option, he charges forward, holds contained, doesn't let Malloy get to the outside, turns him back toward the middle of the field where the rest of the defense is there to meet him. Great work by the entire defensive unit, but particularly Easy McKnight.
Buccaneers with a completely different player back there to kick it away, unless that is Tasika, because I'm looking at the wrong guy. Takes one hop, goes in the hands of Sahir Gomez at the 40. He's trying to stay on his feet, gets to the 45-yard line. Falcons will have the ball back with 7:56 to go in the third quarter, trailing by 10. Let's thank our FATV underwriters.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, All One Credit Union, The Sentinel and Enterprise, Minuteman Press, and Unitil.
Falcons trailing by 10 points. 7:56 to go in the third quarter. Oreo Wakite Fatoki with the handoff on first down, but immediately wrapped up. Marcus Masseri was the first to arrive, the former Sailor, bursting into the backfield and wrapping up Fatoki from behind.
Dan, he attends a Maritime Academy. Is it really fair to call him a former Sailor?
He is definitely a current Sailor as well. It's just one of those cases, you know, that's what Situate's mascot is, you see.
I know, but it was funny.
It was. Josiah Russell was in a little bit of distress there after that play.
Saw Tommy Costa being tended to on the near sideline as well. As the season goes on, these rosters get more and more tested by injuries. Each loss compounds the pain of the previous ones. Falcons' depth will be tested even further.
The Falcons entered the season with just 9 offensive linemen on the roster. And they did list all 9 of them on the 2 deep today. It's obviously one of those big challenges. Switch and replacement. I think Jack Fede will replace him. As LeBron in the pocket throws that one into the turf and incomplete. One to find Avalos, I think.
So this feels like a question to which you would know the answer. obviously, at the newly renovated Crocker Field, they have sprint turf. Here at Elliott Field, is this just field turf? Is this the proper, brand? Is that the brand we contracted with to get this?
I actually do not know the answer. I've always used the term field turf as sort of a genericized trademark. Now, they're a legitimate company that I'm pretty sure protects their trademark.
Oh, yeah. They share the same fate as, the Xerox and Zamboni of the world.
LeBron having a bit of trouble, and there's another bit of a traction issue there as he tried to set his feet. Never really was comfortable, couldn't release the ball, and he gets sacked.
It was John Shields, the sophomore from Laurelton, New York, who ultimately delivered the hit. It's good coverage downfield. LeBron had time initially, but then as the pressure was coming, he tried to set his feet and scramble off, and he couldn't actually set his feet. He had to go down for the sack.
Yeah, you could see him try to set his right foot. So maybe he might try to throw, maybe he might try to run, but there was just no traction there. The cleat didn't catch the turf and couldn't really set and do anything. Sands gets a great boot into that one, and will be taken at the 31-yard line. Good run back there by the Corsairs. You'll have to take a guess. We'll take Sam Huffman on that one.
It was Sam Huffman. He's a senior from Guilford, Connecticut.
It looked like a 6-foot-tall individual.
He was wearing number 1. That helps, too.
Maritime has 2 number 1s.
Ah, well.
Yeah, Jamaric McZeal also wears number 1, but McZeal is 5'6".
Yeah, that was not a 5'6", gentleman.
Yeah. So, on special teams, you have to guess. And we'll go with the taller one there. First down for Mass Maritime. They've got the second unit back in. Well, part of the second unit. It was the second unit quarterback handing off to a first unit running back. John Carlson handed off there to Zach Proctor. The last time we saw Carlson in the contest, we saw Maritime switch up the entire backfield. All 3 running backs were different, but this time Proctor is part of this squad here.
Was also one of the drives by the Buccaneers that ended in turnover.
Bad snap. Proctor gets it back again to the left side. It looked like he was about to break up field, but caught from behind.
Good work by Jacob Lanford. Looked like Proctor was going to run out of his arms. Lanford was able to finish the tackle.
Freshman from Hagerstown, Maryland. He's definitely been getting very involved in the Falcon defense the last couple of weeks. Proctor, left side, will get the first down. They're just past midfield. Maritime is sort of sticking with the second squad, but Proctor's the odd one out there because they still have Ryan Keelty and Isaiah Ricketson in the backfield to go with John Carlson. Proctor, who's been part of that first squad, has been getting the ball a lot. It goes to the left side. I believe Carlson kept it himself that time.
That's the consensus opinion of those in the box here.
It's in that sort of perfect angle where it's hard to tell. Carlson definitely moved more like a person who's possessing a pigskin. Since Maritime loves keeping it on the ground, the clock continues to run now under 4.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Carlson again to the left side. Cano's there. It's got to be at least the 10th time today. It's been a good day for Manny Cano as well.
This Fitchburg defense, Dan, especially in the past few possessions for Mass Maritime, has really kept the Buccaneers in check. They face another third down here.
Andrew Novak also in on that tackle. Third down coming. About 2 to go here on this third down. Maritime is 4 for 10 on third down today. Pretty much right in line with their average. Go to Proctor on the right side. A flag flies. This would be good enough for the first down, just barely.
Falcon coaches on the near side are indicating that it's against Mass Maritime.
Legal shift on the offense, 2 men moving. 5-yard penalty, replay third down.
We've seen a couple of those, Dan, where it was very close to having 2 men moving at the line of scrimmage. You see they had a man in motion, the right tight end, was coming in motion, but also the receiver on the near side just shifted his position. No idea why. Luke Maffeo has not exactly played an integral part of this Mass Maritime offense, but he adjusted his footing. He did so right before the snap, which meant that he was not set for a second. That counts him as a man in motion, 2 men in motion. That's a penalty.
Got to get to the 40 for a first down.
First time out of second half. That's Maritime.
Maritime calls timeout as the play clock was running out. 3:10 to go, third quarter, 13-3 Buccaneers in front.
Feels like a good time for an out-of-town scoreboard, doesn't it, Danny?
I like that idea. So as we know, Worcester is hosting UMass Dartmouth. They just started the third quarter. It's 34-7 in favor of the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth.
Sounds about right.
Framingham and Westfield will kick off in a little over 20 minutes from now. Plymouth State and Castleton will kick off at 2:30. Bridgewater and Westcon at 5 o'clock.
Continues to be a very quick pace. Kicked off just after noon. It is not even 1:45. We're almost at the end of the third quarter.
That's what happens when you get a triple option team. You get a triple option versus triple option, you might be able to get the game over in about 2:15. Get Mass Maritime to play Springfield. That would be fun. Who can out triple option the other team? Carlson keeps it this time, staying on his feet to the right side. May have gotten enough for the first down as he was going backwards at the end. Wrestling past Brown and Lanfer. It is going to be a first down for the Buccaneers. A big convert for them.
That is huge for Mass Maritime. Obviously, they get the first down. They keep the ball. They're into Falcon territory now. But just from the timing perspective, up by 2 scores, they're pretty much going to be able to run out the third quarter, maybe even get into the fourth if they can pick up another first down here. Time is starting to tick away for Fitchburg State.
Jeremy Cameron, 28-year head coach for the Buccaneers. He knows the big thing here is controlling the clock and controlling the game from there. Carlson rolls to the left, gets about 2 yards on that one.
Carlson only picked up a couple of yards, but I think it was a good decision by him to keep it. And a number of Falcons diving to cover the pitch. Looks like one of the linemen for Mass Maritime is down.
That's Thomas Russell, sophomore from Boston.
Medical staff for the Buccaneers out on the field. Looks like they're looking at his leg.
Maritime's got a very large staff, several trainers with them. They also have about 12 assistant coaches.
While we have a moment, folks, we want to remind you that our next telecast of Fitchburg State University football will be next Saturday, October the 26th, as the Falcons play host to Vermont State University Castleton. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff here at Elliott Field. Fitchburg State will go on the road to Bridgewater on Saturday, the 2nd of November, before returning here for Senior Day, Saturday, November 9th, as they play host to Plymouth State.
That'll be Senior Day, a noontime kickoff for November the 9th against Plymouth. Remember, the Castleton game is a 3 o'clock kickoff, and then the final game of the season at Westfield on November the 16th, a noontime start from their alumni field.
Buccaneers next week are at Framingham State. That's a noontime kick for them. Play a lot of weekday games. Do the Bucks from Mass Maritime on Thursday, Halloween, they'll take on Westfield State. It's a quick turnaround, play on Saturday and then Thursday.
Only 5 days off, and Maritime, this is just the third time this year they've played on a Saturday, and they're 2-0 on Saturdays. They beat Castleton 2014, and they beat Plymouth 29-6. But they're 0-3 on Fridays, losing to SUNY Maritime 22-14, then losing to Westcon 45-6, and then UMass Dartmouth most recently 34-0. So even with the extra week of rest, we talked about this, that Maritime has an extra day of rest because their last game was on a Friday night.
Saw Thomas Russell helped to the sideline. We'll keep an eye on him, obviously wish him the best.
Proctor blasts into the line on second down. There is nothing there.
I disagree, Dan. There are 2 yellow handkerchiefs thrown pretty much at the end of the play.
There was nothing there in the original play. The umpire has turned in such a direction that he would like to walk this ball deeper into Falcon territory. Should not be a good sign.
After the play, 2 unsportsmanlike conduct. 1 against Fitchburg, 1 against Mass Maritime. Penalties will offset. It'll be 3rd down.
Ready to walk it off because he knew one of those penalties was going to be against Fitchburg, but upon further discussion, one of those penalties was against Maritime because those were dead ball. It just all amounts to nothing. The line to gain for Maritime is the 28-yard line. They're on the 35. Here on 3rd down. Proctor wrapped up for 2 yards. Dexter Brown there again. And Manny Cano, Dexter Brown Jr. and Manny Cano have had a really good game defensively today.
Brown had his arms around Proctor pretty much as soon as he hit the line of scrimmage. Just fell forward for a couple extra yards. It's a very awkward situation for the Buccaneers. It's too long to kick the field goal, too short to meaningfully punt. So even though it's 4th and 6, you might as well go for it.
Have to get to the 28 again. Man goes in motion, but whistles right on the snap. Brown is holding his wrist as well.
False start, 78 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Caden Arnold jumps, the freshman from Connington, Louisiana.
Dexter Brown really laboring right now. Can't tell if it was his wrist, his elbow, but...
Yeah, I said wrist, and it was looking a little harder. It was closer towards his elbow, more his forearm up there. Now Maritime's going to punt it.
Or at least they're going to line up to punt it.
We were talking to our clock operations staff, who actually did happen to work last year's meeting between these 2 teams in Buzzards Bay, that Maritime did fake a punt last year and get a 1st down on that. Sika ends up kicking into the end zone for a touchback. Falcons will have the ball at their own 20 with 17 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. They trail by 10.
Gets late early when you're up against a team that can grind the clock like Mass Maritime. Fitchburg State, at the very least, needs to reverse the field position here. Obviously, ideally for them, they would get into the end zone, cut this to a 1-score game.
Took 6 minutes of clock, that last drive for Maritime. Falcons will try a different man in the backfield in Rashawn Stewart. He had a touchdown last home game against Worcester. Throw out to the left side to KB. Was complete. Ended up being caught right at the 20-yard line, which means nothing was gained on that, and that is the whistle for 3/4 time. Still 13-3 in favor of Mass Maritime.
Got to be encouraged, Dan,
That is the end of
by
the
the
third
Falcons'
quarter.
defensive performance in this 3rd quarter. With the big swing in momentum at the end of the 2nd, the pick 6 for Mass Maritime, giving them the 2-score lead, and then knowing that the Buccaneers were going to get the ball back, there was every chance that this game could just get away from Fitchburg State really before the 3rd quarter got underway. Instead, the Falcon defense stood strong. They've been able to hold Mass Maritime scoreless. Now it's on the offense. They need to answer. Obviously, they need 10 to tie this game. They're going to need more points than that if they want to win it.
Just have to find themselves some momentum, try to string some plays together. As we've mentioned, the passing's been better in this contest, 50 passing yards to 15 rushing yards in this contest. Maritime's defense has been as advertised.
Saw a good crowd in the end zone club here. Freddie the Falcon in attendance, of course. It's a beautiful day for football. We'll see if the Falcons can put up a beautiful result in this fourth quarter. 13-3 in favor of the Buccaneers. Second down and 10 for Fitchburg at their own 20. Devin LeBron from the shotgun. Back to pass. Near side for Katie. It's caught. He's across the 25. Spins out of one tackle. Ducks another. And he will finally be wrapped up. Gain of about 7. It'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Great work there by the freshman from Boston, the former Dover-Sherborne Raider. Just wrestling for yardage. Fighting as hard as he could. Got 7 out of all that.
Now on 3rd down, LeBron's pass to the near side is caught. Zahir Gomez with the catch. He's got a first down across the 30-yard line. Do a little dance, move the chains. First down, Fitchburg.
It's a matter of just hitting some quick swing passes. Don't give Maritime the chance to rush you too much. Do whatever you can. If you got to chunk the yardage, then do it however you must.
First down carry comes to the right side for Stewart. His first rush of the game. It's across the 35-yard line. Call him down at the 36. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Stewart with 28 carries coming into today, averaging about 2 yards a carry. Sophomore from San Antonio does have a score on the campaign.
One of 2 Texans in the backfield for the Falcons.
Matt Aguirre from Laredo.
It is Stewart who remains to the left of Devin LeBron. LeBron pumps. Now we'll just get rid of it to the near side. Flag comes in. I think LeBron was in the pocket. He argues that there was a receiver nearby, but I think they're going to get him for intentional grounding. He wants a hold as well. Let's see. There was another flag that came in afterward, one thrown by our referee, Bill Goslin. We'll see what the call is.
2 fouls on the play. We had holding 51 offense. That penalty be declined. We had intentional grounding. Number 4, that penalty be enforced from the spot of the foul. It'll be 4th down. It's a loss of down penalty.
All due respect to Mr. Goslin, I don't believe Emilio Cabey threw this ball, but so you've got a hold against the Falcons, and then LeBron just getting rid of the pass. He was within the tackle box. So it's intentional grounding and a loss of down.
I think there's a line of scrimmage thing that you've got to gain, and that ball goes parallel to the yard lines, basically.
Absolutely did not get back to the line. Now on 3rd down, they'll hand it off to the near side. Absolutely nothing there for Matty Aguirre. Tried to make it look like LeBron was going to roll to his left and throw, then run the draw to Aguirre. Well diagnosed by Mac Kromenhoek on that Mass Maritime defense. So Kromenhoek just wrapping Aguirre, driving him down. Falcon offense with the penalties winds up going backwards. Hunter Sands on to kick it away. Sands just inside his own 10-yard line as he boots this one. Going to come down at midfield. That might have hit a Buccaneers foot. I don't think it did, just based on the way the Falcons are behaving. Punt will be downed at the 36-yard line. And that is where Mass Maritime will take over 1st and 10.
One of the things coming into this week, there are a few computer systems out there.
Real quick, Dan, I'm sorry to interrupt, but take another look at this punt as it comes down. Comes very close to hitting one of the up men for the Buccaneers.
It's hard to say from that angle because parallax effect and whatnot, but it was so close. And I think that player would have been in much more of a rush to turn around and try to get that ball if it had in fact struck his foot.
1st and 10, play action fake, deep pass down the right sideline is incomplete. That was Evan Pierce back on the field for the Buccaneers. I believe he was trying to hit Brooks Moss on the deep ball. That would have been the dagger to seal this one.
Not the first time we see them try to run that play, but it had the same result, a bad overthrow there when Moss was the only one who could have caught that ball.
Good protection. Pierce just overthrew it slightly. Moss did have a step, but it is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Man in motion. Option pitch comes to the near side. Moss the ball carrier this time. He's got a 1st down and more into Falcon territory. Flag comes in behind the play. Moss is down at the 46-yard line. Dan, was I hallucinating? I thought I saw a flag come in.
I can't see a yellow handkerchief.
Fair enough. I'm seeing things. It's fine. First and 10 for the Buccaneers, now at the Fitchburg 45-yard line. Again, pretty much right in front of us here as we sit on the left side of the press box at Elliott Field. Straight up the middle goes Zach Proctor. He gets about 4 yards out of it.
Maritime went for that one dagger there, didn't get it. They know it better benefits them if they don't try to go to the air. They've attempted 5 passes, which is their average, more or less. They've completed 1. That was for 3 yards. And they know it's in their best interest that they just keep the ball on the ground and keep trying to grind their way to 1st downs. See, every time they get a 1st down, that's about another 2 minutes they can run off the clock. And that precious time gets less and less for the green and gold.
2nd and 6 now for the Buccaneers. Motion once again, but they'll go Proctor up the middle. And he gets about 4 yards again. If they can keep getting these 4-yard runs up the middle, Dan, it's going to be over quickly.
When they first met Proctor there, he was stopped maybe for a gain of about 1 or so, but Proctor able to continue his momentum to fall forward.
It was actually Chase Dombrowski on the carry that time. My apologies. Dombrowski will stay in on 3rd down, and he'll get the carry on 3rd down. Breaks out of a couple tackles. He's got another 1st down. He'll be tackled at the Fitchburg 30. Chase Dombrowski, the sophomore from Pawtucket, picks up a 1st down for the Buccaneers. And much more importantly, the clock continues to roll.
Just 16 carries for Dombrowski coming into today, and now being trusted in this spot to keep control of the football and keep control of the game for the Buccaneers.
Got Dombrowski and Malloy in the backfield. This time it's the quarterback, Pierce, keeping it himself. We've seen the Buccaneers run that quick QB sneak a couple of times on 3rd or 4th and short. Another flag comes in after the play. One thing that you see a lot, Dan, with these run-heavy teams is as the games go on, can get a little chippy.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 23 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Is that the direction of chippiness you were thinking?
I am a little surprised that that came against the Buccaneers, but, you know, Falcons will certainly take it.
That's not the first time Rex Sullivan's been dinged today.
Backs the Bucks all the way up to the Fitchburg 42-yard line. 2nd down and 22. Mass Maritime needs to get to the edge of the red zone for a 1st down. Pierce under center. Bucks have run the wing tee pretty much all day. Plunge up the middle for Dombrowski. He's across the Fitchburg 40 to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 18 now.
They've done very well with the triple option today, definitely executing it the way they want to. They've already guaranteed that they'll have the time of possession edge in this contest, well over 30 minutes of possession in this game.
As the Falcon cries ring out from the speakers, the crowd pounds their feet. Fitchburg's defense needs a stop here. 3rd down and 18 for Mass Maritime. Malloy goes in motion. Pitch it out to him. He's going to be swarmed. He breaks out of that, however. He's across the 30. Gets just inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. And now I think, Dan, Mass Maritime will probably go for it on this 4th down.
They might have been in a spot they may have considered punting if it had been held to just the original 3, but that was just great on Malloy. Look, 3, 4, 5 Falcons there. By all accounts, he should have been wrapped up, but he just slithers out of it and escapes. It gets a precious bonus 5 yards.
Now this is a huge play in this game. Just over 8 minutes left. Buccaneers leading by 2 scores. Malloy goes in motion, fake the pitch to him. Pierce rolls near side, sets, throws, end zone, caught. Down at the 1 yard line. Not into the end zone, but still a huge catch for Brennan Keefe.
Makes it so important because it was 4th down. If that ball falls incomplete, it stops the clock, but it would have stopped anyway for the failed thing or whatever. It's just like if they ran and didn't get it, would have stopped the clock anyway. Why not gamble at that point? They throw to the left side. Keefe gets just about all the yardage they need, but just 1 yard short.
In a way, Dan, that even benefits. There is a flag that came in afterward. I was going to say that even benefits Mass Maritime that Keefe was down because it gives them the chance to run off yet more time before presumably punching it in. Izzy Abraham is almost out to the near side hash marks as he tries to get word from Bill Goslin and the officiating crew as to what exactly the call's going to be here. Haven't really seen him be this demonstrative before.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 48 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. It'll be a first down.
Ed Reynolds guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct, according to our official, Mr. Goslin. That'll back the Buccaneers up, but they still get the first down because it was a dead ball foul. So rather than 1st and goal from the 1, it should be. Are they not gonna march off this? He did say it was against Mass Maritime. Could he have maybe meant it was against Manny Cano and the Fitchburg defense?
That would have made more sense.
Both in the sense that Mass Maritime does not have a number 48, and it would explain why the ball hasn't moved.
Yeah, the ball looks like it's between the 1 and the goal line. So yeah, that penalty was against the defense.
So Falcons concede the 4th down conversion. Now 1st and goal inside the 1 for the Buccaneers. Nothing fancy here. Evan Pierce will take the snap and plunge in. Touchdown Mass Maritime. And that will just about do it. Evan Pierce with the 1 yard touchdown run. I believe that's Pierce's 2nd touchdown of the day.
And came from the same distance as the first one, 1 yard. Pierce came today with 1 rushing touchdown. He now has 3 to his account.
And now up by 16 here. It's a little surprising to see Mass Maritime go for 2, but kicking game not exactly a strength for the Buccaneers. Did have an extra point blocked earlier. Pierce fakes the pitch. He'll throw for the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. Catch made in the end zone by Keefe. Evan Pierce is down. He took a hit as he was throwing that pass. But he'll head to the sideline under his own power. Buoyed perhaps by the adrenaline of a touchdown rush. Now, Dan, that's not a true octopus, right? When a quarterback rushes for a touchdown and then throws the 2-point conversion. It's not the same.
Nah. And even then, in the count book, when they say who scored the points, they care about who's got the ball in the end zone specifically. So that's 6 points to Evan Pierce, but 2 points to Brennan Keefe. So yes, that's not going to be an octopus there.
So keep that in mind, folks. If you have Evan Pierce in your MassCAC Fantasy League, you only got 6 points on that exchange. Also, as always, if you have Evan Pierce in your MassCAC Fantasy League, get help.
Let's see if I can squeeze this in this time. That was the point I was going to make, was the computer systems had Maritime as the favorite. Bill Connolly had this as a 28-14 game by his SP Plus system. Logan Hansen had Maritime winning by a score roughly of 24-6. And Ken Massey was the least optimistic for the Falcons' chances. Thought the Falcons only had a 3% chance of winning this game and had about a 28-7 as his prediction.
Kickoff taken in for some reason. Falling out of bounds was Peter Quatchett. who caught that kick as he was going out of bounds. I have no idea why, Dan. If Quachet had just let the ball go, ball would have gone out of bounds and the Falcons would have had the chance for much better field position than they're going to wind up getting.
May have just been lack of spatial awareness, not realizing exactly where he was on the field. I kind of thought he was maybe going to see if he could try to catch that ball while he was standing out of bounds, but there's not really a point in that juncture. Just let it go.
So Fitchburg's offense back out on the field, trailing 21-3 now with exactly 7 minutes to play in this game. LeBron will throw on first down, wanted to go long. He goes underneath instead to Cabey. Got the first down. Emilio Cabey with the first down catch over the middle. Falcon offense will presumably look to pick up the pace here. It's obviously not mathematically over as a contest. 21-3 with 6.5 minutes to go now. Aguirre in motion. Get it out to him on first down. Good blocking in front of him. Matty Aguirre's got a first down and more. Almost gets to midfield. Pushing and shoving away from the ball after the play. No flags, however. It's another first down for the Falcons.
Different look there. Get the ball into Aguirre's hands on the throw. Definitely some success there. And the Falcons looking a little lively here. They trail by 18. But any bit of momentum helps.
First and 10, Fitchburg at their own 48 as we jump under 6 minutes to play here in this game. Play action fake, LeBron looking to his left, under pressure, evades one sack, now throws it left-handed for the sideline. And Bill Goslin's got his handkerchief in hand. I think Devin LeBron is going to be called for intentional grounding again. You saw him gesticulate to the official as if to say, what, really? Mr. Goslin just looked at him and said, yes. Really?
Intentional grounding, number 4 of the offense. Penalty includes loss of down at the spot of the foul, second down.
And Mr. Goslin still believes that Devin LeBron wears number 4.
Well, you know, the number font is a little, it's fine.
It's the italics.
Sure. All in all, Dan, based on the spot where LeBron ultimately threw that pass, winds up, is that a 17-yard penalty? Seems about right.
It is.
Second and 27 for the Falcons. LeBron back to pass, nothing open. Looking left, throwing long passes, underthrown and incomplete. There is a flag down once again.
It's in the vicinity of where a receiver potentially could have been. If it's DPI or a defensive hold, that will bail the Falcons out.
Could well be defensive holding, maybe illegal contact.
Holding, number 10 of the defense. It'll be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Lucas Casey Moore, guilty of a hold and a gift for the Falcons. Was going to be 3rd and 27. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for them at their own 41-yard line. So they try to get more points on the board before the end of this one.
Bit different when you get a new first down, which is actually required the chains moving backwards to set up for the new 1st and 10.
Back to passes, LeBron again. Pass over the middle is caught by Sahir Gomez. He's got a first down in Buccaneer territory. Falcons finally having success moving the ball over through the air. Sahir Gomez with another first down catch.
Now they can move the chains forward again. Good catch by Gomez. He's been such a solid receiver for the Falcons over these last few years.
Falcons have it at the Buccaneer 46 in this bizarro World NFC South matchup. Pass to the near side is incomplete. Off the hands of Dimitri Boozer. Boozer nearly had LeBron's second interception of the game.
He's looking for Marcelo Giavalos there on the near side. But Boozer had that well read, leaped up in the air, had the best positioning. We'll just have to settle for the Brupp.
For Boozer, Dan, that pass hit him in the worst place, right in the hands.
Right in the hands. The senior from McDonough, Georgia, had one pass breakup coming into today, 2 blocked kicks, interestingly enough.
Second down 10 for the Falcons. They're at the Buccaneer 46-yard line. Aguirre goes in motion to the left. They'll swing it out to him to the left. Easy for me to say. Aguirre makes the catch, stumbles forward. Down after a gain of about 4. We'll call it 3rd and 6.
How many times today have we seen a Falcons cleats just sort of slide on this turf? Feels like it's been happening a lot more than you'd expect.
Is it possible, Dan, that Crocker Field has the best playing surface in Fitchburg? Well, this is the first time we've ever been able to say that. Aguirre will keep it on 3rd down after the direct snap. Plunges forward, he gets to about the 41-yard line.
There was a point when Emilio Caby was coming in this direction that perhaps there might have been a potential for a handoff on an end around.
First charge timeout, Fitchburg.
Fitchburg will take their first time out of the
Clock's
second
running.
half with 4 minutes to play. Izzy Abraham takes the timeout, gives him time to figure out what exactly it is they're going to do. Falcons will obviously go for it here on fourth and about 6 coming up for Fitchburg.
The Falcons have shown some signs of life on these last couple of drives. Just trying to find consistency and also the discipline as well. We've not had the best of discipline in this contest in terms of penalties, but it was a far worse the last home game here, where we had over 300 penalty yards. In this one, we have just a modest 108. 68 by the Buccaneers.
Good to see that our friend in the striped overalls has stuck around. It is again homecoming here at Elliott Field. Plenty of festivities on and around the campus of Fitchburg State University.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Shrewsbury and Algonquin in high school football here in Central Mass. Algonquin came back from 28-7 down with 2 minutes to go to win. False start will back up the Falcons 5.
False start, number 40 offense.
Took a
5-yard
long
penalty.
time for that flag to
Remains
go.
4th
Emilio
down.
Caby was 10 yards downfield when the whistle blew.
So a 3-score comeback with 2 minutes to go is definitely in the realm of possibility. It's been done. It's just a question of, it's still extremely improbable.
But you're saying there's a chance.
I am saying there is a chance. For the Falcons, the biggest thing to build on here would just be seeing if they can get a touchdown in these last few minutes. Try to make it a little closer.
Aguirre to the left of LeBron on 4th down. Steps up away from the pressure. He's got to get it himself, and he'll be tackled from behind at the 40-yard line. Needed, unfortunately, for Fitchburg, the 36. So it'll be a turnover on downs. The Buccaneer offense will come out with a chance to run out the rest of this clock.
He was hoping he could try to outrun John Shields there, but the sophomore from Laurelton, New York, wins the foot race. He's able to take down LeBron and force the turnover. Now there's the legitimate question, are the Falcons going to get the ball back in this contest with how well Maritime has done controlling the football today?
Buccaneers say not if we have anything to do about it. First down handoff goes once again to Zach Proctor. He's back out on the field. He's back across the 45-yard line. Gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Bucks.
What's really helped Maritime in this contest is just how well their running backs, whoever it is able to fall forward and get those extra yards. So instead of being stopped for a couple of yards at first contact, just keeping their feet churning and falling forward, getting those 2 or 3 extra yards just makes it all the more difficult for the Falcons.
Now on 2nd and 4, handoff goes to Malloy this time. He's across midfield, does not yet have the first down.
Different running back, actually.
Yeah, that was not Malloy.
That was John Dickinson.
John Dickinson sophomore from Kingston, Massachusetts, an international maritime business major. There's some entertaining majors, as you might expect, from a maritime academy here.
I want to shout out a couple of those if we can.
Do, shout, go.
Well, let's start with Evan Pierce, that quarterback. He is majoring in emergency management.
An important thing that needs doing. Third down handoff picks up a first down for the Buccaneers.
Someone's got to manage in those emergencies.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Now, I don't want to alarm anyone. Remain calm, have a seat, get yourself a beverage. Just keep it in the back of your mind for future use. There are 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. You've been made aware.
Liam Hines, who had the pick six earlier in this contest, his major is energy systems engineering. Definitely more important in this 21st century.
Energy systems, they very much need to be engineered.
Rex Sullivan majors in marine science, safety, and environmental protection. That is a whole lot of things packed into one major.
Those are three things that need to be protected. You need to protect your marine science, you need to protect safety, and the environment should be protected.
A number of linemen in this contest, and a couple other ones as well. Facilities engineering. Got to work hard on engineering the facilities. We talked about international maritime business, because it's not just local maritime business. Maritime business is very much an international thing.
Oh, yes.
There are ships that have gotten stuck in places.
That's true. You may remember some. First and 10 for the Buccaneers. Pitch goes to the far side. First time we've called Dylan Taylor's name today, I believe. Freshman from Easton, Connecticut, another marine engineering major. And lest you think we're making fun, Dan has an actually useful computer science degree, multiple of them in fact. I was a comm media major. So, there you go.
And let me make it clear that I am not making fun of these majors. These are very interesting majors. It's definitely different. Ball goes out of bounds on that last run, and because we're under 2 minutes now, the clock does stop for that.
Second down and 8 after the short gain on first down. Pitch to the near side. Wrapped up back at the line of scrimmage. That'll be the other number one, Jamarick McZeal, sophomore from Jennings, Louisiana.
Majoring in marine transportation. I mean, I can't imagine it's just boat go somewhere.
I was gonna say, the simplest explanation possible is that he goes to boat school and his major is boat. That's the most Ken member of the Buccaneers, right? So much for his job is beach, his major is boat. As we go under 40 seconds to play here, Buccaneers will just make sure it gets under there, line up in victory formation, take one more snap. And that will do it for us here today at Elliott Field. 21-3 is the final score. Massachusetts Maritime Academy is victorious. They will go to 3-3 on the season, 3-2 in the MASCAC. They've already beaten, Dan, their MASCAC record from last season.
Indeed, and they remain undefeated on Saturdays, a perfect 3-0 on the Saturdays. And Maritime today, they played the game that they wanted to play. Did a tremendously good job in doing so.
They controlled the Falcon running game, contained them pretty much bell to bell. Did just enough to stop the passing attack. Fitchburg State unable to get into the end zone. Their only field goal came after a drive that started in Mass Maritime's territory. The offense, Dan, did just enough. The Buccaneers are not really a team that's going to blow the doors off of anyone. Their season high in points is 29, and the 21 they put up today is the second most.
Indeed, the Falcons were able to at least get a couple of points on the board. And Maritime's defense holding strong, holding the ball for about 39 minutes in this contest. They finished with just 276 yards of offense. But when the Falcons only have 134, that helps a lot. Ultimately, a lot of different ball carriers. Zach Proctor, 18 for 67. Evan Pierce had the 2 scores. He ran for 38 yards on 12 carries. Matty Aguirre had 15 carries for the Falcons for 35 yards. Devin LeBron, 11 for 24 for 112 yards and an interception. Emilio Cavey, 6 for 49 in terms of receptions. I want to shout out some of the defense for the Falcons to keep it respectable. Dexter Brown, a team high 14 tackles. Sebastian Burmester, Jacob Lamper, and Manny Cano were all into double digits as well. They all had 11. Cam Minette had 9. Tommy Costa had 8. Easy McKnight had 6. A lot of tackles for obviously a game in which Maritime kept it on the ground, only attempted 6 passes in the contest. Maritime's leading tackler, Jackson Mahoney, finished with 7. 6 of them solo.
Fitchburg State drops to 1-5 on the season, 0-5 in the MASCAC. It is now 30 consecutive conference losses for the Falcons.
It is.
The road ahead, it is uphill. The Falcons have a long way to go. There is light at the end of this tunnel for Fitchburg State. This is a better team than we've seen in some recent seasons. But there is obviously still work to do for the Falcons.
The Falcons will have Castleton coming in 7 days from now, and that game will kick off in about 24 hours and 40-odd minutes from as I speak this, because I joked about how 2 triple option teams can play a game in 2 hours and 15 minutes. 1 triple option team and 1 different team played a game in about 2 hours, 15 minutes today.
You mean 168 hours, right? 7 days, not 1 day.
Yes. Oh, bad. That was horrible.
It's just so in case anyone's confused, the Falcons are not playing 2 games this weekend. They're not going head-to-head with the Patriots tomorrow. Although the Patriots are playing in the morning tomorrow, so hey.
Yeah.
But still.
Ooh, bad. Wow.
Anyway, 21-3 is the final. Mass Maritime victorious. We want to thank our tremendous crew here at FATV. Our director today was Nate Glennie. Robin Como doing her first job on the scissor lift today. Robin and Isaiah Manuel went up on the scissor lift, ran camera for us today. We also had a number of other camera operators. We want to thank Jared Kammerer, Henry Christensen, Gabe Toomey, and Minzy Wu. Of course, we also want to thank Travis Falk, our technical supervisor, audio engineer, replay runner, do everything guy today. Everything we do here at FATV, Travis is integral to the operation. So thank you so much to him, as always.
It was a beautiful day for football. We had a beautifully played game. Maritime ended up the victor. Same score line as last year, 21-3. Buccaneers victorious. Falcons will try again next week against a Castleton squad that looks pretty solid. We'll see what we've got.
That again, a 3 p.m. kickoff next Saturday from right here at Elliott Field. Dan and I will have the call, but for now, for Dan Bullock, I'm John Gugerty saying thank you so much for watching, folks. We'll see you next time right here on FATV.